Don Blocker, the towering star of the classic Western Bonanza, was more than just an actor. He was a legend, adored by millions as Hoss Cartwright, the gentle giant whose warmth and compassion made him one of television's most beloved characters. And his sudden passing in 1972 at just 43 years old left an emptiness in Hollywood and in the hearts of fans that has never truly been filled. But now, more than 5 decades later, his son Dirk Blocker has finally opened up at the age of 66, sharing a heartfelt confession that confirms what so many people suspected for years but had never heard directly. A revelation that shows Dan Blocker was not simply portraying a role but embodying his true self. Growing up in the shadow of such an iconic figure was never easy, and Dirk, who inherited not just his father's name but also the enormous weight of his legacy, spent much of his life carefully crafting his own career while always being mindful of the immense admiration surrounding his father, building his path as an actor with appearances in series like Brooklyn Nine-Nine, yet never escaping the looming question from fans about whether the man they saw on screen as Hoss Cartwright was the real Dan Blocker or merely a television character, and what life was like being raised by someone so deeply admired. At 66, Dirk has finally broken his silence and admitted that his father was, in truth, everything people believed him to be and more, confessing that the kindness, humility, and generosity fans witnessed on Bonanza were not manufactured for television, but a genuine reflection of who Dan Blocker was at his core, a man who lived with integrity and compassion, treating every person on set with respect regardless of their position, embodying the same gentle giant spirit off-screen that he brought to life on screen, proving once and for all that his portrayal of Hoss was less an act and more a mirror of his authentic character. Dirk went on to explain that his father's values profoundly shaped not only his own career but his entire life, describing how Dan never chased after fame or glory but instead placed honesty, hard work, and family above all else, teaching lessons that have carried through generations. And Dirk's confession, while not scandalous or shocking, is even more powerful because it provides fans with the comfort of knowing that the man they admired from afar was indeed as genuine as they always hoped he was. This revelation, coming decades after Dan's passing, reassures longtime admirers that their faith in his character was not misplaced. And today, Dirk proudly carries his father's legacy, confirming that the greatest truths are often the simplest ones behind the bright lights, the cameras, and the fame. Dan Blocker was exactly who the world thought he was: a kind soul, a devoted father, and a man whose legacy continues to endure not just in Hollywood's history, but also in the values he instilled in his children. And for fans who never stopped cherishing Hoss Cartwright, Dirk's words are a deeply moving reminder that Dan Blocker wasn't just a character, he was the real deal.